Reagan here, about to read my new short story I just wrote called It Hurts. Um, some old bullshit love story that I've written 20 million times in 20 million different ways. Just recycling right now because can't think of anything. We're going through writer's block. Um, Going through a lot of personal stuff in my life right now that's pretty fucked up. Uh, it just is what it is, as I always say. Say that shit like I came up with it or something. um, as always, I want to thank the people that read my stuff and watch these videos, and the people that enjoy my stuff. Um, there's been people from the past and some people in the present that I thought were down for me and thought they believed in me and stuff, but time time tells everything, and it seems that they didn't give a fuck. But that's alright, because whether I make it or not, whether I ever get published, I had fun doing this stuff for me when I wasn't recycling and doing the same shit over and over again. But anyway, thanks to the people that are down, and a big fuck you to all the people that ain't. Especially the ones that acted like they were. Anyway, go ahead and read the story and stop talking about my bullshit. Anyway, here it goes. It hurts. Jimmy watched Kim walk away. That was it. They were finished. She had found life and unleashed glowing butterflies from her palms. A single ray of light found her through the trees. With the questions answered, she didn't need him anymore. He still needed her very badly. Worse than good health insurance or his father's acceptance. This was just a test. He'd been sober for too long. Was it his dealer that had convinced Kim to leave him? If so, it was wasted energy, because he faced this with his right mind. Jimmy just needed someone to talk to. Not that whore who he'd been obsessing over. No, this time there would be no quick fix. If only he showed Kim how he really felt, then maybe she wouldn't be on her way back to South Carolina. That other woman meant nothing to him. He thought she could relate to him. Now he knew she'd run away in terror if he told her half of what he told Kim. Bad thoughts would enter his mind and hang around until they destroyed everything real and good in his life. Kim was the only person he could talk to. Now he had to find someone to talk to about her. Most of the sober friends he had would pull out their Bibles and put their own spin on the Word of God to prove a point. The way they talked, you'd think they were best friends with God. Jimmy would have bet anything that they were Christian posers and knew nothing about him at all. Thinking this, Jimmy wondered if he could talk to God. Oh, never mind. After all, he wasn't a relationship counselor. What relationship? It was gone, and now Kim was alive with someone else, but a ghost with blood red hair to him. He felt so stupid. This other woman was there for one night. They didn't even have sex, but he thought she was pretty, and even when he got back to reality, this fantasy just refused to leave his mind. It was probably the fact that they both got high. Kim used to get high too, until she got tired of giving all her money to drug dealers just to run and hide from her problems. She quit drinking too. If she could face the world with a clearer mind than Jimmy could. Kim knew he had severe psychological problems, but she'd help him overcome them if he just put forth an effort. He tried, and at first he'd lose it, telling the love of his life just how much he hated her. Eventually Kim would throw her hands up, telling him, go ahead, go get high. She never meant go get wasted and fall for someone else. Jimmy actually told her about this woman. He didn't talk about her dark hair or how beautiful she was. No, Jimmy said enough though. Enough for a smart girl like Kim to read between the lines. Right then he crossed the line. Kim didn't draw them for nothing. The angel in her turned wicked. Kim too said things she didn't mean. Still she kept holding on. But this time Jimmy would have to prove himself. On a blistering July day, she told him that she knew he'd choose drugs. Kim said, "I'd give us about another week." She was the one he wanted. The drugs nor this addict slut could ever take her place. Kim had written him off, and proving her wrong meant life or death. Jimmy stopped using. He basically gave up everything. It wasn't his fault this other woman walked into the same restaurant that him and Kim were eating at. They were laughing and having such a good time. The future was getting brighter by the day. Then black clouds took over their lovely sky when this woman walked in with dilated pupils wearing a white dress. She didn't like Jimmy. This was probably only the second time she'd ever thought of him. Still, she smiled and waved as if they were longtime friends. Kim saw that look, and to her it showed more. Her mind was made up. Jimmy had slept with this tramp. Kim respected his honesty, but it was only half of the truth. Oh, they met at this party and started talking. She should have left him just for that, and told him to go talk to her again. Talking. Yeah, right. Jimmy had got over on her. So what if he changed? For all she cared, he could go back to that life of false illusions of people who really didn't care if he was alive or dead. Jimmy hadn't done a thing wrong, except become infatuated with this woman. Why did he even mention her to Kim? It was his drunk and high friends. They saw him talking to someone else, and as a joke, threatened to tell Kim all about it. A joke. Yeah, right. He knew they couldn't wait for the opportunity to ruin things for him. They wanted him to suffer just as they did. Of course it would sound better coming from him. He was high and stumbling for words, searching his mind desperately for what to say. Jimmy thought that would be the end, then he dodged a bullet and woke up beside her the next morning. It wasn't long before she told him how it was going to be. Jimmy went along with it, choosing her over everything. He never thought that night would end up ruining his life. Then Jimmy watched Kim walk away. That was it. They were finished. She found life again and unleashed glowing butterflies from the palms of her hands. A single ray of light found her through the trees. With her questions answered, she didn't need him anymore. Even now, he still needs her more than ever. Life keeps passing with the days, and it isn't just a need, he wants her back. Every night the memories come back, but she never does. Jimmy wants to find her again. He wants to tell Kim everything, like how he hadn't been happy since the day she left. Everything is boring, and he can't help but think of driving and listening to music. With Kim back when just looking at her kept him occupied with thoughts that kept him sane. He's losing his mind without her. Jimmy thinks how smoking and drinking can free his mind. He thinks of opening the Bible and searching for a passage to ease his pain. It seems like nothing can stop this lonely torment. Not even another lover. Jimmy just has to face it. He really messed up this time. Okay, that was Robert Reagan. Well, I keep fucking saying that shit. This is Robert Reagan, and that is my new short story that is just written like 20 million other short stories I've written, but just in a different way. Recycling. Get tired of saying the same shit over and over again, but it's better than not saying nothing, depending. Life's fucking boring without writing. And so, if I write the same fucking story every time, then I'm gonna keep writing it every time just to be doing something. Oh yeah, and here's my kitty again. What's up, man? She hates listening to these damn stories, man. Dog went outside. I got tired of hearing it. Anyway, again, big shout out to all the people that read me and watch this stuff, and a big fuck you to all the people that don't like me, and especially a big fuck you to the people I thought were down and really weren't. Anyway, bye.